I want to talk to you about business lines of credit that actually pulled TransUnion this year. So here are the banks I want you to really focus on here. So first you have U.S. Bank. So U.S. Bank actually has a business line of credit that pulls TransUnion this year. So in terms of U.S. Bank, you actually have three types of business lines of credit. You have what they call cash flow manager. So and you have a business line of credit, and you also have the business equity line of credit, and you also have a business reserve line. But that's not really much. It's actually up to $5,000, and I'm speaking here about the business reserve line. So this is actually protection from overdraft charges. So up to $5,000, no annual fee, and this account is linked. This business line of credit is linked to your checking account at U.S. Bank. But I want to quickly talk to you about the cash flow manager. This is actually the business line of credit that the traditional business line of credit that you actually will get you get from U.S. Bank. So with Cash Flow Manager, you are able to manage your cash flows up to $250,000 of business line of credit, and you have competitive rates with the option to lock in a fixed rate. So this is really good, and you also have the possibility to understand that this is a revolving line of credit that can help ensure that you have working capital for seasonal purchases, inventory, and short-term cash needs. Okay, so credit lines up to $250,000, competitive rates with the option to lock in a fixed rate on existing balances. So when you think about the other U.S. Bank business line of credit, this is actually more. This gives you more money, but this is actually this gives you cash to purchase materials, equipment, or inventory. So you have up to $1 million. You have competitive interest rates, and you also have interest-only payment option. This is actually good if you have a solid relationship with U.S. Bank. And the third one is a business equity line of credit. So here you can use real estate as equity, so you can collateralize the business line of credit. Okay, so here you have up to a half a million. This is the line. You have revolving terms with a 5-year maximum, and you have monthly interest-only payments. So this is pretty good. So overall, fantastic. U.S. Bank is the first business line of credit that pulls TransUnion this year. Next, I want you to think about Regions Bank. So if you're looking for a business line of credit that pulls TransUnion, think about Regions Bank. And Regions Bank actually has a pretty good customer service, and they'll work with you. The only thing is with Regions Bank, you have a geo restricted bank. I mean, U.S. Bank is kind of geo restricted too, but Regions Bank is more geo restricted than U.S. Bank in the sense that with the regions, you have fewer states where the bank maintains brick and mortar branches. So if you want to have a business line of credit from Regions Bank, you have to do this actually at the branch. You cannot actually apply for a small business line of credit actually online. Okay, so you got to go to a Regions Bank branch, or you can contact a Regions banker. So you're gonna have to have conversations with a Regions banker to actually arrange this business line of credit. So if you want to kick off the process, you want to call 1-800-REGIONS. So that's 1-800-REGIONS. So 1-800-734-4667. Or you can log into your online banking account if you have a Regions relationship. That's totally fine. And Regions will give you a maximum of $250,000. So the maximum business line of credit you can get from Regions is actually $250,000. But the cool thing is that you have flexibility. I mean, when you have a Regions bank business line of credit, you have flexibility. So you get the funds actually you can borrow, repay, and borrow again. Okay, you borrow as little as a little or as much as you need, up to your available credit limits, and your payment amounts adjust actually based on the balance owed. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. But again, I want to go back to what I said a little earlier, that with Regions, you have the element of geo restriction. So you got to be in a state where Regions is present to actually qualify for a business line of credit through Regions. And the maximum is $250,000. And it's just better if you have a relationship. If you have an existing business checking account or business savings account with Regions, you are going to enjoy this business line of credit. if you are looking for business lines of credit that pulls TransUnion, I want you to think about Huntington Bank. So Huntington Bank is another geo-restricted sort of bank. So you have to really be in the geography that Huntington Bank actually covers. Okay. So, but this is a pretty interesting business line of credit because you are getting a maximum of $100,000. But if you have a great relationship with Huntington Bank, you can increase this business line of credit maximum all the way to $1 million. Okay. So this is kind of cool. And basically, you can use a Huntington Bank business line of credit for a lot of things. So you can access funds quickly and easily, online or via phone, to buy inventory, cover expenses, meet payroll, and more. You can also manage payments so you can enjoy the flexibility of a variable interest rates, then choose repayment options that fit your business needs. That's really fantastic, including, by the way, including interest-only payments, and you can track activity. So you can this business line of credit is easy to use. So you have easy to use monthly statements that allow you to easily track activity. So that's really fantastic. So if you're interested in a Huntington Bank business line of credit, I invite you to actually call 1-800-480-2001. So 1-800-480-2001. So you want to really give a call to the bank first and have a conversation. So they are available. The customer service is available on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. So this is something to really think about. Now, one thing I want to say here is that when you actually think about this bank, I want you to think about customer service. I want you to think about efficiency, but I want you to, sorry about that. I want you to think about a family-centric culture. So with Huntington Bank, you have a family-centric culture. You have the possibility to actually talk to because once you have a business line of credit through this bank, they will assign you a banker. They will assign you a funding rep, and this funding rep will answer all questions that you have about your business line of credit. So I invite you to actually build a relationship, to cultivate a great relationship with that funding rep. So that's it for banks. So if you're thinking about business lines of credit that pull TransUnion, you have three banks. You have US Bank, you have Regions Bank, and you have Huntington Bank. Now let me talk to you about the credit unions that actually offer business lines of credit that pull TransUnion. The first such credit union is actually Navy Fed. So Navy Fed actually has a lot of possibilities when it comes to a business line of credit. And so if you want to manage cash flow, payroll, or working capital seamlessly, a Navy Fed business line of credit, which pulls TransUnion, might be the right option for you. So for shorter term cash needs like overdraft protection, building inventory, or offsetting unexpected expenses, basically a Navy Fed checking line of credit connects you with the cash you need to cover gaps and reconcile accounts. So this is pretty good. So basically, when you think about a business line of credit from Navy Fed, think about temporary working capital, cash flow, payroll. Think about gaps between accounts receivable and accounts payable, unexpected expenses, and overdraft protection. Okay, so this is pretty good. And now, of course, Navy Fed is a credit union. So basically, that means you need to qualify for membership. You need to have a business. You need to have business membership. You also need to have personal membership before you can qualify for Navy Fed. Now, Navy Fed is pretty good. It's actually one of the best, if not the best, credit union nationally. Okay, but you got to have an affiliation actually for the military. In other words, you got to really be related to the military either biologically, either professionally, or geographically. So that's one of those things where basically qualifying for membership at Navy Fed is not a straightforward process. You might qualify or you might not qualify. So besides a business line of credit, Navy Fed has a series of other funding options. So if you don't qualify for a business line of credit, you can go for business loans. You can go for CRE loans, commercial real estate loans. You can have, by the way, when I speak about the business line of credit, they have a secured business line of credit, and they also have unsecured business line of credit. Okay, so for secured business line of credits, you have line amounts starting at $35,000. So if you're looking for business lines of credit that pull TransUnion, I want you to think about another credit union, and that's Consumers Credit Union. So Consumers CCU, okay? CCU is a great institution, by the way. They pull TransUnion. They will give you a business line of credit. They will pull TransUnion. And when you think about the CCU, I want you to think about three or four types of business funding programs. Now, the only thing we don't like with CCU is that their business lines of credit are secured. They do not have any unsecured business lines of credit. So be ready to post collateral if you want to have a business line of credit through CCU. So basically, you have a business secured lines of credit that provide the capital you need to bridge the gap between invoice and collection. Letters of credit issuance guarantee that third parties receive the payment due to them. And you have business construction and development loans that support you with on-demand capital to be used on everything from new construction to extensive remodeling and renovation projects. So basically, the whole thing is that with CCU, you have everything you have through CCU is collateralized. For instance, they have commercial mortgages. So commercial mortgages are by nature collateralized, and with commercial mortgages, you have amortizations up to 25 years. There is no prepayment penalty. You have a competitive rates. You also have equipment financing, so you can actually invest in your business future without depleting your cash reserves by financing your next equipment fixed asset acquisition with a business term loan. So that's really important. And so one thing for sure, if you want more information about a business line of credit that pulls TransUnion through a CCU, I want you to call 847-672-1888, 847-672-1888, or you can email commerciallending@myconsumers.org. Okay, and CCU is open to everybody for joining, so you can join. You can join CCU, not a problem. Okay, you can see that basically, regardless of where you are at, regardless of your biology, or regardless of your professional affiliation, you can still join CCU. If you're looking for a business lines of credit that pull TransUnion this year, I want you to consider a credit union called BECU. So that's Boeing Employees Credit Union. And with BECU, you have a lot of flexibility. You have affordability. Also, the APR on the business line of credit is pretty low. You have rates as low as 6.75% all the way to 10.75%. And that's if you have a business line of credit that goes from a $2,500 all the way to $10,000. Now, if you want something above that, let's say you want a business line of credit that goes from $10,000 all the way to $100,000, the APR will be around 10 to 15%. Okay, but the cool thing is that BECU is a pretty solid business, a pretty solid financial institution, pretty well run, by the way, great customer service. Okay, and the cool thing about their business lines of credit is that you have benefits and features that are pretty good. You have low competitive variable rates, no interest charges until you draw on the line of credit. You have a $0 origination fee, competitive annual fee, so that's really good. You have secured and unsecured options, and you have NSF overdraft protection. Now, to apply for this business line of credit, things are pretty simple. You can decide how much you need, and you need to complete the business line of credit application. And basically, for credit requests of $50,000 or greater, you want to complete the business loan application, and be prepared to provide BECU with additional documents detailing your business's financial and tax history. Okay, and but the best way to actually get a business line of credit through BECU is to make an appointment to apply, or download and bring the completed application to your nearest BECU location. And if you're not already a business member and are approved for a business line of credit, you will be required to establish a business membership. Okay, this is important. But overall, great institution, great set of possibilities actually. And also, BECU is based on the West Coast, but they are the institution is available to all kinds of people. So who can join? Anybody can join. Okay, so if you are associated with UW, WSU, BECU Foundation, Go West Foundation, CAPS, or Seahawkers, you can really become a member. Not a problem. if you're looking for a business lines of credit that pulls that pull TransUnion this year, I want you to think about teachers. Now, teachers is a credit union, so the cool thing about teachers is that you are able to get a maximum line of credit of $500,000. So that's pretty good, okay? Even from a credit union, because credit unions are by definition, let's say, more conservative. But with teachers, you have a lot of possibilities. By the way, with teachers, you don't have to be a teacher by profession to actually qualify for a business line of credit or to actually qualify for a business membership. Okay, so maximum loan amount, maximum line of credit amount, you have $500,000. That means you can actually finance machinery and equipment, working capital. Okay, when you need it. So that's really good. And but now the thing is, there is a $500 packaging fee on term loans and lines of credit loans, $100,000 and above. Okay. Now, so in terms of application, teachers actually want you to do things the old school way, if you will. So to apply, you want to print out the following forms and drop off at your nearest teachers branch, or you can mail things to a business lending department, Teachers PO Box 9005, Smithtown, New York 11787 9005. So this is pretty straightforward. So teachers wants from you a teacher's business loan and line of credit application, a personal financial statement. So this is actually for lines of credit higher than $50,000, and they also want to see your IRS tax return transcript request, so they can have a clear idea what kind of business profile do you have. Okay, and so for any help in completing this application, you can call a teacher's business development officer at 631 698 7000, extension 1687. Again, the number is 631 698 7000, extension 1687. Or you can email business@teachersfcu.org. Okay, that really tells you that it's a pretty lengthy process, if you will. The cool thing is you have a lot of possibility, and if for any reason you do not get approved for a business line of credit, you can apply for a commercial real estate. In other words, you gotta have, if you have let's say property that you want to collateralize, you can certainly do so and actually get the cash you need actually at teachers. So that's really fantastic. So overall, a great institution. Now, how do you join? Well, teachers is open to everyone. You can see this on the screen. So it's basically an institution that open to everyone. You don't have to be a teacher to qualify for a teacher's membership, like teachers credit union membership. So as a recap to this conversation, I spoke to you about the business lines of credit that pull TransUnion. So you have banks on one end, and then you have credit unions. With banks, you have U.S. Bank, you have Regions Bank, and you have Huntington Bank. With credit unions, you have Navy Federal, you have Consumers Credit Union, you have BECU, and finally, you have teachers. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.